All right, we are
Let's look at that.
we are live. We have a tornado warning, a confirmed tornado just northwest of Paris, Illinois, and these are the storms that are pushing to the east right now, right towards central Indiana. Multiple severe thunderstorm warnings on these. They have a history of producing tornado warnings. I know, Michael, you were looking at this storm kind of down by what is that, Olney in
Yep.
southern Illinois that could potentially go tornado warned, starting to show some signs of rotation. And this is just these storms getting their act together. They're still going to continue to move into an environment that will be favorable for additional severe thunderstorm activity and additional tornadic activity as well.
Yeah, and if you guys are watching now, you see the red bubble, if you will, the drawing over central Indiana. That is essentially the indication, the pre-indication for us forecasters that a tornado watch is likely going to expand east. And we're really concerned with the three cells that are basically kind of seen here down near Mount Claremont, up near Olney, and then that cell right there just east of Mattoon that has now a reported tornado. Those particular 3 to 4 cells are going to move east northeast over the course of the next basically three or so hours, 3 to 4 hours. And so for that, the Storm Prediction Center, which is the severe storms forecasting arm of the National Weather Service there in Norman, Oklahoma, what they've said is this is the best chance for tornadoes in this area, and we expect this threat to shift eastward with the progressions of the storm and the cold front. We will be needing a new watch extension more into Indiana here in the next couple of hours. I would imagine within the next hour, probably that watch will come out. So that circled area just means you are in an area where we think there's the best tornado potential right now over the course of the next 3 hours or so, 3 to 4 hours. So it's basically preemptively warning us that, hey, we have concerns that the tornado threat is going to be elevated here in that red area. So I would ask that you all share this with a friend, tag a friend, um, hit the like button, let folks know we're watching. I think between really now and about 10 o'clock, 9 to 10 o'clock, give or take, we're going to be tracking thunderstorms that are going to be severe. Brett, what's very interesting right now that honestly does concern me to an extent is these are not linear in the slightest.
No, they have not congealed into a line at all.
No.
I think the only reason that these aren't stronger right now is because the shear is winning out a little bit versus the instability, but the sun is peeking out here right now.
Yeah,
There,
turn on the visible satellite real quick on that layer if you can, and on clarity, and you can see just the pure sunshine in west central Indiana right now. There
yeah.
are no clouds whatsoever. So instability really being able to build pretty good right there, just out ahead of this. As these are supercell thunderstorms. That's what these are. They're building out ahead of this, and they're going to move. What's our general storm motion right now, Brett, on these storms?
Yeah, we're generally southwest to northeast with these storms. I'll put the radar in motion here, and we can kind of take a look at what we're going to be seeing just in terms of this. If I can click it, there we go. You can see kind of a southwest to northeast, and that's really driven by the strong jet stream that we talked about earlier. We have a really strong jet in both the lower and the mid-level parts of the atmosphere, and so even though we haven't had a ton of sun today, that kind of is making up for a little bit of the lack of instability, just the intense winds aloft, allowing for these storms to sustain themselves, and of course, then the change in wind direction with height helping them rotate a little bit. And you can certainly see, I mean, honestly, Michael, I would say that over the past 30 minutes or so, these have started to get a little bit more impressive, starting to get a little bit more organized.
Yeah, if you look at the 300 millibar, 500 millibar jet, it's an hour or so away from. And actually, that's actually not true. It's really starting to. We're on the nose of the jet max down there. That's the deal right now. If you look at that on the forecast models here, there's the nose of the jet right there. If you go, what time is it?
It is 6 p.m. right now. So here's where it is right now.
Yeah, so that Jet Max right there in Carbondale, go back and click on Carbondale and click on that Jet Max down there, right there. Along and north of that, you've got divergent air mass where the air is going north and west and north and east, and it's dividing. It's called divergence, and it's where lift is the best,
Mhm.
and that's a strong upper level jet stream. That particular one there is I believe that's 850.
Yep,
Uh,
850.
and so, guys, real quick, I'm seeing these comments drive me absolutely nuts when you guys do this. Looks like Indy's missing out and no one's going to get anything. For the love of Pete, we're talking about it right now. It's moving into central Indiana. It's coming. Like, just stop it for a second. Just listen to what we're saying. Okay, we just listen to the forecast. All right, it's not going to miss Indianapolis. Like, just stop and just listen to the analysis. Okay, we're going to talk about your cities. We're gonna highlight the timing. Just calm down. Let us talk about this. But this is the forecast of the low level jet, and this is as these winds increase as this moves east. We've talked about this in multiple lives today, that the storm intensity will probably only come up a little bit because it's going to get more energy, more lift, and more support through the low level jet stream.
Hmm. Yeah, and it intensifies. Here's 6:05 p.m. So this was an hour ago. 6 p.m. Note how it intensifies as storms move into our area, guys. And so that will help with the intensity of these storms as they push a little bit further off to the east. And Michael, as you alluded to, we will get to the simulated radar to give you all an idea of when and where these storms are going to be. But this area, if I go back to the mesoscale discussion, I'm going to highlight where we anticipate a tornado watch to likely be issued if it's not already. It already is in parts of western Indiana. But I would expect that Indianapolis, Marion County, Johnson County, Monroe County, Morgan County, you name it, in this area, going to be under a tornado watch. This entire area will be at play for severe storms here as we go over the next couple of hours.
I've got pulled up over here just to see. We'll get that watch. We'll get that watch right away once it does come in. It probably won't be long on that front there. So let's do a couple things, Brett. Let's kind of go through and just look at the timing.
Sure.
Let's look at kind of frame by frame here of the expected forecast of where we think it's going to hit, who could it possibly hit, when could it hit there. This is a look right now at
this is really initializing. So you can see that it matches up pretty well. It's not perfect. It's not going to be as granular, but it matches up very well with where the storms are right now in eastern Illinois.
And what I'll say too is that I did notice the latest HRRR run keeps these rather individual. It tries to, and it's attempt of modeling out these cells.
Yeah. There we go.
I'll tell you what, Brett. To be honest with you, this might serve us a little bit better if we use the future radar in Clarity, because it's by half hour frames. If we turn all this off and we can track the forecast there using the high resolution radar here. I think this is the 1 kilometer reflectivity too. So kind of gives us a little bit better idea. What time are you at right there, Brett?
This is 6:30.
Okay. So, which is in 15 minutes. You take it to 7 o'clock. You go from Lafayette to Terre Haute down to Vincennes, even all the way down to Evansville. All right. All right. So for those of you watching, all the questions coming in right now about all your cities, this is where you get your answers right now. All right. So listen up. Stop typing, stop commenting, and listen. 7 o'clock, you can see where this is estimated to be. This is a look here at 7:30. You can still see some individual-like nature of these storms and a little bit of bowing out with these storms where tornadoes are probably going to be on the south end of the bow, and the wind damage could be out ahead. That's a sign of the low-level jet. These storms really being enhanced by that. This is a look here now at 8 p.m. That's going to be from Lagodi to Kokomo, in through Indianapolis metro area. This is not going to be an exact representation, by the way, of how radar is going to look. This is an idea for timing purposes. Okay. This is again at 8 o'clock. We'll take you to 8:30. That thunderstorm kind of lifts north and east over Morgan, Johnson County, Bloomington, Monroe County, Bedford down there, all the way down into Owensburg. And now keep in mind, even down into Kentucky, that there's a tornado watch in Kentucky that's going to go for another 6 hours. That will also, in these storms that far south, can become tornado warned. And again, if you're watching, is Vincennes in the clear? No, I just talked about it. I just said, Vincennes, Knox County area. When you look at the current setup, it's on the doorstep there. There's a thunderstorm just to your southwest of Knox County right now. Once it gets into a better environment, it's one we need to watch. So let's get back to the analysis. This again is, what's that, 9 o'clock?
9:30.
9:30. It's east of Indy. It's getting into the eastern part of the state, and it'll start to lose its probably its ability to be tornadic, if you will, but probably still some damaging winds and whatnot. The extent of the tornado threat really should end at or just a couple of miles east of the Indianapolis area, from Kokomo to Indy down to Columbus. That it should end. Now, I'm not guaranteeing that, but it should kind of start to dwindle down a little bit as instability comes down a little.
Yeah, I would say that a pretty good bet is kind of like along the I-65 corridor and west in Indiana. So Indy to Louisville, Columbus, those areas in there, Noblesville will be kind of in the tornado threat area. So, Shelbyville, Greenfield, you're kind of on the line. East of that, you're probably more of a wind threat than a tornado threat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's see here. I'm just looking for, looks like we just had a 1-inch hail report there just south in the Chicago metro area, just northwest of Lockport. Just looking at some latest reports here.
Yeah, there is a tornado warning up there too.
Do we want to you want to switch to Omega, and it's coming in now into the Chicago metro area. And we can kind of analyze that particular storm there. Yeah, there is a tornado warning just south there of Orland Park, and you can kind of see that nasty. You're probably seeing a pretty nasty shelf cloud moving right into the Chicago metro right now with some hail and that particular severe thunderstorm warnings for 60-mile-per-hour winds and 1-inch hail. And then there's that tornado warning. Now, I don't see a lot in the way of spin, but this is QLCS. You want to look at the front, just south of Tinley Park.
Yeah.
North of Frankfort right there. It's probably right there. It's exactly where it probably is. Or quick spin ups. It's exactly what these things do, is they spin up fast and they're rain wrapped, and then they go away in 90 to 120 seconds, It's but nonetheless, radar indicated winds with this right now are they're up there over 60 miles an hour on the front edge of the line, and then you've got where these darker returns are near Tinley Park and just northwest of Orland Park. You do have the potential there for hail. Nasty little storm rolling into the Chicago metro area right now. Definitely much more linear up that way, Brett, than it is further south.
Yeah, which is interesting up by the warm front, which makes me wonder, the storm maybe, occluding a little bit, cold air kind of catching up with the warm sector across northern Illinois, maybe limiting the tornado threat a little bit up there in terms of more individual cells, but increasing the wind threat up here. In fact, I would argue, Michael, that if I turn off this tool real quick, what I'm noticing is kind of in here, note the void in precipitation, probably have a decent little rear inflow jet. We're starting to see a Boeing segment here.
Yeah.
To me, I think the Chicago area, it's warned for 60 miles an hour. I wouldn't be shocked to see stronger than that. Chicago metro area, in the next, 20 minutes or so, 20, 30 minutes.
Yep. In fact, I can probably, if you wanted time that out here. It's moving, like I said, that storm is moving northeast. It looks like at
13 miles.
50 miles an hour. So yeah, I would say 10 to 15 minutes. You can time that out right there. Put 50 in there, and
Well, I didn't.
what a tiny little polygon, Brett.
Yeah.
Worst part of the
It's been a minute since we've had to do this.
I know.
Or that you did it on Friday with this tool. It's been a minute since I've done it. So Oakland, 628. That's going to be Eastern. So 528. This thing is it's booking for sure.
Yeah, it is absolutely booking. Closer down here, let's go down, Brett, to these individual cellular thunderstorms down there in the go over there to the Lincoln radar and kind of get a look at these things right now. We just want to watch the south end of this. In fact, while you look at those, I'm going to check out the meso analysis page real quick and see what we're looking at.
Yeah, and these storms, here's one near Bloomington. A lot of wind with this. Again, I would say 60-mile-per-hour winds just east of Bloomington, Illinois. And then these storms down here are kind of on the edge of the radar right now. Let me go back to the velocity scan out of Indianapolis to kind of take a look. You can see we're in almost a little bit of a radar hole here in terms of where these storms are. We turn on the Evansville radar. We may get a little bit of a better idea. Not seeing strong signals of rotation on these, at least not right now, but certainly a lot of wind out of them. Interesting look to these, though. They're all kind of trying to spin. You can kind of see the comma shape and the hook on a lot of these out here in Eastern Illinois, but they're just not quite organized enough yet to drop a tornado. Obviously, one of them did, but it's since lifted as it's pushed towards the border. And so as these move east, definitely still need to be monitored because they all do have that look. And so, Terre Haute to Brazil, then we need to be on the lookout from Robinson to Sullivan to Jasonville, kind of through this area. And then if we go back to the north, guys, and take a look at this cell further north up near Georgetown, probably if I turn the Indy radar back on, need to be on the lookout for these areas through here with this storm. So, and just as I say that, there's a new warning that it's going to include Terre Haute. It's a severe thunderstorm warning. I would imagine that's going to be for 60-mile-an-hour winds. So severe thunderstorm warning right now issued with this storm right on the border, moving into Terre Haute, Harrison, Brazil for 60-mile-an-hour wind and 1-inch diameter hail. I would still be keeping a very close eye on this storm just because of the shape of it to watch to see if it could spin up a tornado. Not strong enough rotation signals right now to support that, but I do think that it's worth keeping an eye on at least.
Brett, I'm going to share my screen real quick just for a quick analysis piece here, if I can. This is the Storm Prediction Center's meso analysis page, and this is basically looking at the environment for tornado potential. And you can see basically all things are met except for one parameter, which is the effective shear, where we're kind of over that a little bit, but we're in the window there for that west central Indiana for tornadoes to develop. And so, it's certainly something. It's certainly something that we want to monitor here. This is the SIGTOR, significant tornado one. And again, we're meeting 3 out of the 6 there. As these storms come in to Western Indiana, the odds are that they're going to become a little bit better supported here for rotating, tornado type thunderstorms, that can produce tornadoes. If I go to, real quick, if I go to my radar tab, I want to show you something real quick. I'm looking at, where are we? There we are right there. Can you see it, Brett? Can you see my?
I am pulling it up right.
You hate me.
Now, there we go. Perfect.
Okay, so there's a piece here I'm concerned about. It's going to be the southern end of this piece here, Robinson, Flatlock area. That's going to kind of do one of these numbers over the next couple of hours. So I would venture to guess this one's not really out of the question either. When you
Yeah.
watch that area there, there's actually some indication of some spinning going on there. So long story made short, these storms environment wise, as they come east, just looking at things here, kind of quickly, this area right here is really going to be the most conducive for tornadoes, for these storms to rotate and develop tornadoes over the next 2 hours. Just looking at the quick analysis I just gave, we're going to watch this storm. Let me turn this off here so you can see. We're going to watch this storm near Danville, this storm near Terre Haute, and this storm down near Robinson. And we can't rule out this one down near Vincennes and Knox County. These are all going to generally move this direction. We've got instability increasing, and again, we're hitting most parameters for these storms to rotate and drop some tornadoes.
Yeah, I'm starting to see a little bit of very broad rotation with that storm near Georgetown, Illinois, just south of Danville. So I definitely think that's one you mentioned it to keep an eye on as it moves towards just north of Crawfordsville and eventually Lafayette. So starting to see some. It's very broad. It's not super strong, but I'm starting to see at least a little bit. Well, that new frame that just came in, a little bit more impressive.
This one probably needs to be tornado warned. I would imagine we're probably going to see a tornado warning out of this one here anytime. Yeah.
Was that it?
No, that's
No.
in Chicago. There's
Chicago.
an expansion to that tornado warning up there. Just real quick, near coming into really downtown. Radar indicated there tornado. Let's go here. Gosh, and you can see really there's a couple of things here in Chicago. I mean, you've got a lot of notches in here. There's these QLCS for those of you that need to take notes and learn what QLCS is. That's this embedded rotation along the leading edge of these thunderstorms that can spawn quick tornadoes. That's what's happening here, and this is not uncommon in these types of setups. But there is a tornado warning. This is interesting, Brett, right here.
I was going to say up by Country Club Hills near Tinley Park. I would imagine with that type of a look that it wouldn't be difficult to spin up a tornado. And again, that's a fairly populated area just in the southern suburbs of the Chicago metro area. And so it's rush hour right now. There's a major interstate right there, Interstate 57. And so if you've got friends and family in this area, anywhere from Tinley Park to South Holland, to Hammond, and then eventually out towards East Chicago and Gary, Indiana, I need to be monitoring this storm very, very carefully. I-294 is right there. I-80 is right there. Again, that's a couple of major interstates. There's probably locked in traffic right now. So definitely let folks know if they're in that area, they need to be finding a safe place. And under a highway overpass is not a safe place, just so everybody knows.
Brett, can we zoom out of the view so that they can see the timing impacts there and maybe turn off Clarity Pro Trial or put that somewhere else?
Yes.
Just so we can see the impact. I used to be able to move the impact time screen. I cannot move it now.
There we go.
Oh, there we go. Now I can kind of move it and to drag it the right way. So let me get out of there. That tornado warning up there, Eastern Illinois, Northwest Indiana for the next 30 minutes. Don't sleep on this part of the storm. Up getting into the downtown Chicago area, 1-inch hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds. Those are some very heavy returns, very nasty part of the thunderstorm there. We'll get back down closer to home. There's a new severe thunderstorm warning now for Terre Haute and for Attica, Covington area. This severe thunderstorm warning will be for 1-inch hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds. This particular storm is moving off to the northeast at 45 miles per hour. We'll start there. And again, wouldn't shock me if we see this storm eventually produce a tornado warning.
Yeah, there's still definitely broad rotation there right along Interstate I-74.
Yeah.
So if you're in Covington, if you are near, what is that, Vetersburg, and then
Mhm.
eventually Attica, I would be monitoring this very carefully and be prepared to go into your shelter. Because as you alluded to, I would not be shocked to see a tornado warning on this. It's close. A little tighter with the rotation there, and it'll have the potential to drop a tornado.
Mhm. Yep. Here's a couple of timing. Um, Covington 646. I'm basically timing out the spot of the storm that could rotate and have, some hail and some gusty winds. Independence 709, Odell 712, um, and Black Rock 715, Attica 702, just northwest of Vetersburg. There, probably. We used to be able to plot dots in there. It doesn't do that anymore, but. Here's another new severe thunderstorm warning. We'll go down here and check this one out. That's going to be for Sullivan, Fairbanks, Terre Haute area. This one here, again, for 1-inch hail, 60-mile-per-hour wind. And this one's going to go for 42 minutes as well. This one is moving also probably northeast at 45 miles per hour. We can do a double pane here and kind of view what we're seeing here. And we can time out the worst part of this thunderstorm currently, which is where this is located. And you can see, let's go Terre Haute, downtown Terre Haute, probably North Terre Haute-ish, 646, very soon. Rosedale 655. Let's see, getting into Carbon, Indiana around 705. Again, that warning is going to go for the next 40 minutes. Let's see what else we got here. We got another severe thunderstorm warning too, just south of there. How's that one looking, Brett? Let's see.
Yeah, nothing too crazy. I wasn't really seeing any notable rotation on these, at least at this time.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah. So again, we'll watch that one. Certainly the most impressive right now in terms of potential north into that. But like I said a little bit ago, for those of you that are just kind of tuning in, this area here is the most prone for these storms to produce a tornado if they're going to. We're not guaranteeing tornadoes, but this is where the best environment would be for that.
Real quick, Michael, I'll share my screen.
Mm-hmm.
We've had a lot of people just asking for timing in terms of this line. So I'm going to pull up the nowcast that Mr. John Kemper put out just a little while ago. Let's see here. I don't think this is the right one. Yes, it is. Okay. So time frame of severe storm. So this just gives everybody a general idea of the time frame to be on the lookout for severe weather potential for your area. So these first two dash lines that you see, we've already got storms moving into Terre Haute right now. So right on track, that 6 to 8 p.m. time frame from the border of Illinois, Indiana, just west of Indianapolis, just west of Bloomington. That's kind of going to be your main time frame for severe weather in there. 7:30 to 9:30 is going to include Bloomington, Indianapolis, Greenwood, Kokomo, Columbus, and then east of that red dash line, that's where we would expect that tornado threat to pretty much diminish pretty quickly. Start to see these storms collapse. Still a wind threat, but primarily a wind threat east of that red dash line between 9 and 11:30 p.m. So if you are west of that red dash line, you are at risk for a couple of tornadoes, a spin up to happen, along with large hail and damaging winds. If you're east of that red dash line, that is going to be after 9 o'clock, and the tornado threat should die down. So that gives you a very good general idea of what to expect over the next several hours.
Yeah, great timing graphic there put out by John Kemper, one of our meteorologists, and sent to your mobile device if you have Clarity, which is a great time to mention. You can try Clarity for free if you go to bamwx.com and click in the top right hand corner, and you'll be able to see a free trial button. And I would encourage you guys, for those of you that are in any type of decision-making role, whether it's education, outdoor sporting events, you name it. You can try Clarity out and talk to a meteorologist anytime. We can help you with these decisions. Brett, can you go to the webpage, please, so they can see that, the
Yes.
bamwx.com, top right-hand corner. And then that's how you can kind of get in on that trial and, take advantage of the free service. I think that even if it is a personal trial, you can show your friends that may run businesses or be in educational roles or sporting event roles, kind of what Clarity can do for them. And in situations like this, it's certainly going to be very useful, very beneficial. So perfect. All right. What do we have? Let's get a refresh here on radar. Interesting couple of cells popping up in here in Nashville, Bedford area, east a little bit.
Yeah, some initial convection beginning to bubble up. I skeptical that those are gonna produce a whole lot. Just heard new tornado warning up by Chicago again, northwest Indiana.
Yep.
Two of them. I'm gonna switch back over to radar scope or radar Omega, whatever radar it is.
Yep. Southeastern Kankakee County, northeastern Iroquois County, and Illinois, and then northwestern Newton County and southwestern Lake County in Indiana until 6:15 Central, 7:15 Eastern. This is a tornado warning, radar indicated, capable of producing a tornado. When you look at the velocity scans, they are indicative of embedded rain-wrapped leading edge QLCS type tornadoes as they move off to the east there. So, boy, that one's looking nasty coming into Merrillville.
Yeah, this wind, radar indicated winds here of darn near 70 miles per hour in Chicago Heights. And again, the way that this is bowing out, certainly concerned about damaging winds, but any of these little notches that you see here, you can kind of see one here, you can see another one here, maybe even a couple up here we need to keep an eye on, not as strong, but worth watching. But with this warning, I would not be shocked at all to see maybe multiple tornadoes be dropped down here. Not necessarily long track tornadoes, but these can create some quick damage as they drop down heading into northwest Indiana. So Merrillville and Gary really, as this moves east, any of these areas at risk for a tornado here probably in the next 15 minutes. This right now moving, if we take a look at this, what are these moving northeast at 50 miles an hour? And so if we put our storm track on this here at 50 miles an hour, Merrillville, let's see here, we're looking at 650. So yeah, 10 minutes away from Merrillville. Green Acres at 6:52. This is Eastern time, so 5:52, 5:50 Central time, guys. So this is moving east rapidly. I think, Michael, that this tornado warning, given how fast that this line is moving, probably needs to be extended right now out towards this area.
Yeah.
If you were in this area, this pink area that I have circled, and I'll kind of move the radar over a little bit so you could maybe see it a little bit better. If you were in this area here, guys, you move the radar
expanded
over.
the severe thunderstorm warning. They've got it for 60-mile-an-hour winds. They are saying possible tornado, but they haven't put a tornado warning on it yet.
I don't know. Given these notches, Michael, I would have kept the warning.
Sure.
I think to be safe, if you're in these areas, you may want to go to your basement. Gary, Merrillville, Portage, just west of Valparaiso, given the history of this line too.
Yep. I don't disagree at all. And not, gosh, I mean, just the sheer wind out ahead of this thing, 75-mile-an-hour winds are possible. Is that where that's kind of popping out? I would say right there in St. John, though, just south of Cherville, there could be a quick rain-wrapped tornado easily coming up on that there. If you zoom in there, Brett, to just south up there.
Oh, you're looking at the other
right
one.
there on the leading edge of that, right there, Cherville area. New frame there, a little bit less indicative, but that's a wall of wind right there. That's a classic look at a big gust straight line wind too.
Still right here, some rotation.
Yep.
And maybe you could argue still a little bit right here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. There's enough to me there to keep the warning on it.
Yeah. Again, wouldn't shock me if it goes.
I started noticing this too, just east of Kankakee. This is a decent rotation signal that we're seeing on this storm as well, near Hopkins Park.
Yep. Yep. Sure is.
So that'll be one that will probably move into Indiana. You can see part of the warning in Indiana, just north of Morocco, near Schneider. So if you're near I-65 here in the next 30 minutes, wouldn't be shocked to see a tornado warning issued. Latest scan maybe a little bit less aggressive, but again, it's got a history. There's probably two parts again, Michael. There's one right here, another one kind of down here.
Yep.
So these will be moving northeast pretty quickly, 50 miles an hour over the next hour or so.
Let's see. That storm west of Terre Haute is, let's see, near Mecca, up on the north part of that. A little bit of rotation, just northeast of Clinton there. A little bit of broad rotation there. Nothing too defined yet. The other problem is I may need to go to Evansville to get a better view at this. Nothing super organized just yet. What's that?
I said no. I'm not seeing a whole lot of rotation on these, at least right now. John, are you seeing anything of note that you can add here?
The Terre Haute cell is what is concerning me the most. I think it's starting to notch a little bit more. I feel like we're going to see a tornado warning on that in the next 10 or 15 probably.
So John thinks that this Terre Haute one starting to notch a little bit, and there's the potential as it continues to get organized here in the next 10 to 15 minutes to produce a tornado warning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the leading edge of that down there. Yeah. Kind of where it notches in towards Brett. Go to your real quick. Go to your where it says high res reflectivity.
Mm-hmm.
Click on that and go to high res right there. Click that and turn the smoothing off. Right there, and turn that off. There we go. It might give you a little bit. You're not on KIND though. Go to KIND real quick.
New severe warning right here, real quick, just north of Evansville.
Yep. Yeah, we'll cover that one in just a second, but zoom back into that one real quick. That scans that's a new scan. That's a little different. Okay. Yeah, let's go down to the one down there, new severe thunderstorm warning, which means that one's going to be coming into probably a little bit better environment. You can see the hook at the end of that near Armstrong. No rotation yet, but certainly wouldn't be surprised to see that storm mature a little bit. 60-mile-per-hour winds, 3/4 inch hail. That warning goes for the next 30 minutes. That is for northwestern Vanderburgh County, eastern Gibson County, and then that's northeastern Posey and west central Pike County there in Indiana. Again, that's going to go for the next 40 or so minutes, 30 minutes. I'm sorry, the next 30 minutes. That one again is just looking at the meso analysis. Again, can go into a little bit better environment as it moves north and east. Something to keep in mind is it's a tad bit better into Indiana. Now we're about an hour away, Brett, from the low level jet firing up, or at least becoming what the Sam hell.
That's the on. That's the on-call phone. So that's a behind-the-scenes look at the office.
That sound of that phone before.
Yeah, it's very loud, so you don't miss it.
Miss that. Those are clients calling in for help here, but nonetheless, I think Brett from Crawfordsville down to Cloverdale, down to Hendricks County, Morgan County, Monroe County, Spencer, Bloomfield, as these storms get into those next two county rows east, that's probably going to be their best environment of the night. So I would say, oh, goodness gracious.
I've forgotten how to do this.
Which one are you trying to do? The line?
Yeah.
So click 3 points. There you go. Now click 1 point out ahead.
There we go.
And then put a speed in.
It's been a minute.
It has. And then move your window over. So there you go. Perfect. You've done
There we
it.
go. And let's take this to full
frame.
zoom there. Just because we're getting a million questions about timing. So I figured that I would go in and give some very, very generalized, don't take it down to the minute. If you want down to the minute forecast information, that's why you need to get clarity. But Danville, guys, in terms of the 728, let's see here. Lebanon, 733. West Lafayette, 730.
Tornado warning, Brett, northeast of Terre Haute. Tornado warning just issued now. It's an observed tornado. There is a confirmed tornado now that is for northeastern Vigo County. Is it not popping on yours?
There it goes.
Yeah, northeastern Vigo County, northwestern Clay County, and south central Park County. If you want to put a timer on that, it is moving northeast at 40 miles per hour. You may have to go back to the individual cell timer there. But that is an observed tornado. What we have here is at 6:47, a confirmed tornado was located near Terre Haute, moving northeast at 40 miles per hour. Once again, the weather spotters have confirmed a tornado. If we zoom in on that and you are in the path of this, you need to take shelter immediately, especially right where we drew that polygon. We got another tornado.
There's another one.
Now we have another tornado warning up there. These storms are getting into that environment that we talked about. This is for Attica, Indiana, but let's cover this one real quick. This one's going to go for 27 minutes. Again, an observed tornado. So if you're looking at places like Carbon, Indiana, 712, go down to Alma. These are some small cities.
Yeah. Only a population of 832 in this area that I actually drew.
Yeah.
I'm gonna actually, Michael, just because the polygon sometimes is pretty small. I'm gonna go back to the linear mode here.
Okay.
And do it this way here for a second.
The other tornado warning, real quick, guys, up in Attica, Indiana, is a radar indicated tornado. That one's for northern Fountain County and central Warren County. It's going to go until 7:15. It is a radar estimated tornado, or radar indicated, I'm sorry. And it is also moving northeast at 55 miles per hour. But this particular storm is a confirmed tornado. This is a storm that is certainly has a tornado on the ground for as much as we know right now. And it is moving off to the east and to the northeast at about 45 miles per hour. If anyone has photos or video of that, please shoot them over to us. Put them in the comment section. Make sure you tag your friends. That latest scan there, I don't like that latest evolution of that scan. I think there's a potential there, Brett, of a tornado. If you look, just zoom in there and look along and north of 40, right there, west of Sellyville, that notch right there. Glen Eyre, Burnett, somewhere in there, most likely.
I mean, that's a pretty populated area. This is right through the eastern part of downtown Terre Haute.
Yeah, it is. Okay.
So, guys, at Terre Haute, eastern portion of Terre Haute, and anywhere just to the north and to the east of that, you need to take shelter right away. I'm going to go look at the correlation coefficient real quick to see if we can see if there's any debris or anything that's been kicked up.
Yep. And they've got the sirens going off. There is a confirmed tornado.
Not seeing anything on correlation yet, which is good at least.
Let's see if I have anything in the X feed. Let's see. Thunderstorm, 70 mile per hour wind gust was just reported north, 6.5 miles north of Terre Haute. So these storms are kicking up. They're getting into that environment we talked about. And I'm just looking to see if I have any reports, but I'm not seeing much here on X just right now of anything coming in.
In terms of Attica here, guys, real quick, just to kind of highlight this, you can certainly see the rotation with this storm. Here, we're on the Indy radar, so these winds kind of moving towards the radar, these winds moving away from the radar, so you can see the rotation kind of right here. Maybe weakened a little bit on the latest scan, but if it was going to drop anything, it would be kind of just south of downtown Attica, right into here. You can see the little notch right here as well. And
Yep.
so, certainly need to be taking shelter for especially Attica, Independence. It'll eventually move out towards just west of Odell. I believe this is State Road 341. That's right here. We've got 41 kind of right through Attica as well. So any of these areas, if I had to circle an area that I'd be most concerned about with this, if I had to narrow down this polygon a little bit through this area in the next 5 minutes or so. This is where the rotation, and if there's the potential that a tornado could drop down, which there is, it would be in this area from Attica to Independence over the next 5 minutes or so.
Yeah, looks like this storm there down in eastern Terre Haute, still new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued to surround it, and that's going to include Greencastle. Damage threat here being considerable. The verbiage of that, if you click on the verbiage of that warning, Brett, the thunderstorm warning out ahead of the tornado warning, the new one there, considerable damage, 1-inch hail, 70-mile-per-hour winds, some strong verbiage there. Hail damage to vehicles, expect considerable tree and wind damage, also likely to mobile homes. And listen, it's 7 o'clock. The low-level jets start to ramp up. These storms are getting into a better environment, and they've got some upper-level wind support. And this is probably going to continue for the next couple of hours. These storms are probably going to be a pretty big deal. We do have a watch that has just been issued, Brett.
Yeah, it's severe thunderstorm watch, not a tornado watch, which I don't know if I agree with, given the 2 tornadoes that just.
I don't know if we ever fully agree with things that we see, but the severe thunderstorm watch is going to go until 1 a.m. I'll share my screen real quick just so folks can see it. That's going to go till 1 o'clock there. That is a couple of tornadoes are possible. Ping pong sized hail and 75-mile-per-hour winds are going to be possible with this, including most of the state here. Again, I would say tornado. I don't know, Brett. I would say the western third of this tornadic weather. I would say the eastern, half of it probably not tornado threat.
I agree.
But places like Boone County, Hendricks County, Hamilton, Marion, Morgan, Johnson, Monroe, Brown County, those kind of western edge counties there, I think can certainly still be dealing with potential tornadoes. But again, severe thunderstorm watch is going to go until 1 a.m. And Hope, that was a very quick text. Appreciate that. Thanks for keeping us posted on that as well. No, so let me see here. Any new indication of? Let me go and change my screen. I will turn on my Omega. Give Brett a little break here. Let's expand this. Brett, can you give me the ability to? Will you let me share my screen?
I don't know. Will you be nice to me?
Yeah. So here's the latest now. I'm going to put this into motion again. This is a nasty thunderstorm. And the southern end of it, I'm actually getting a little concerned with too down here near Riley, Indiana, as we're starting to see a little bit of a tail hook develop there. Big thunderstorm warning, though, for 70-mile-per-hour winds, considerable thunderstorm damage as this storm works in now to west central Indiana. We'll go and I want to look at the dual pane scan here. I know some of you don't like that, as indicated earlier, but I'm going to watch near Huff. This is the Terre Haute Airport, the southern edge of this. I'm going to watch this particular area, Brett. I think that as this moves northeast, we may need to watch for possible tendencies to rotate as it gets further north and east there.
There's also not much south of it to really prevent inflow into the storm. There's some showers, but there's not a whole lot of thunderstorm activity So it's what we call unimpeded flow. And so given the wind shear out ahead of this storm, I would agree that if there is another tornado, it would probably be down there. Really, right where you're circling is probably the biggest threat area to monitor over the next hour or so, along with perhaps that one up near Attica as a secondary threat too.
I would imagine Johnny K is probably going to put a little mini nowcast out for these things moving through, huh?
Probably in the next 10 minutes.
He said 5-10 minutes.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So let's go back to that storm up in Attica again. I will go to a dual pane, dual view here. And again, you can see southeast of Attica. These are sloppy, man. These are QLCS, though. I know I've said that multiple times, but they're rain wrapped, sloppy tornado storms. Now, the south one's not super sloppy. It's actually a little bit more organized, but you can have multiple areas of very quick up and down rotation with these as they move in or as they move through the area. So something to just keep in mind there. I want to go real quick, Brett. I want to visit those southerly storms. Look at this one down in Evansville. This needs a tornado warning.
Oh, wow. That might be a tornado.
Let me go to correlation coefficient here. I'm not quite sure why that one's not.
I'm just looking at clarity too. There's definitely that's going right towards downtown Evansville.
Right into Evansville. I'm not sure if you're in Evansville area, north and west of it, especially, perhaps maybe taking shelter might be good. These storms too, these are much closer to the jet stream. And as they move north and east, they are probably going to do nothing but stay a little bit more organized as well. I'll put that into motion. And you can kind of see they're getting their act together a little bit. And again, Brett, kudos to the impasse data this morning, keeping these storms cellular, individual-like in nature. I'm impressed with that and how they hit that.
I just added a note there on the screen for folks in Evansville, given the rotation.
Will you guys?
That certainly given the rotation signal, I see it on clarity. You saw it there on the radar. Would go ahead and probably shelter in Evansville.
Yeah,
the rotation moving into the city.
Yeah, I'll go right back to that real quick so we can see that again. You can see the close-in view there. I am again very concerned about that signal. I don't look at CC, Brett.
Yeah, there may very well be a tornado there, and then again, that is heading
right into Evansville,
right into downtown Evansville.
I cannot believe there's not a tornado warning here. If you're in Evansville, north along State Road 62, Forest Hill, Harwood area, Evansville Metro, of course, you need to seek shelter right away. I'm very confused why there's not a tornado warning here. That's a swing and a miss from the Weather Service.
I saw a comment in here, and I'll see if we can confirm. Hope, if you're watching, could you look around? Somebody said a tornado reported by the St. Mary of the Woods in Terre Haute. So maybe check on that, Hope, if you're watching, and see if we can corroborate that report that we just saw here in the comments.
Brett, do you think that CC scan northwest of Evansville could also be a hail signal?
It's possible.
Right.
But the highest DBZs look slightly north of where that is.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
You could make the argument for both. What's the velocity look like there, Michael?
Where is the tornado warning? What in the hell is going on? That doesn't make any sense to me. I'm confused by that.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Trying to.
Okay. Well, regardless, what is Evansville? Is that Warwick County? Warwick?
I believe so. Yeah. Or it was Boonville, is Warwick County. It may be.
People are asking if I can make the cities bigger. I might be able to. I don't know. I think it's the presentation that I'm on.
There you go.
Here's a green presentation. Maybe that might help a little bit.
Though. I am on, Michael. The one that I have on is big. try the gray presentation.
There we go.
There you go.
That's much better. Perfect. All right.
Vanderburgh County. Yeah.
Vanderburgh County. Thank you. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Just west of Newburgh. Oh my gosh. Look at that latest scan. That might be a debris ball. What's happening? I mean, where is the tornado warning here?
We're issuing a tornado warning for Evansville.
You're going to issue a tornado. Yeah, I would go ahead and issue a tornado warning, John.
They're sounding the sirens in Evansville, which that's probably because of the tornado watch and severe thunderstorm warning. But I'm in this particular environment, this needs to be warned. Even, there's the CC again.
Yeah.
So.
And again, that may be a mix of hail, and that latest rotation scan is not quite as impressive.
Not as quite as good as, not quite as, you're right. Okay. Well, we'll keep an eye on that one. Nonetheless, we'll get back here to these storms here over the western part of the state. I'm going to make these counties black so you guys can see the county lines better, like this. There you go. Let's see. You can take that. You want to take that note off there right at the bottom.
Yes.
Let's see.
Yeah, the rotation tracks, I would say, with the Attica one too are pretty impressive on Clarity. Just one of the tools that we have on the Clarity platform is the rotation tracks to give an easy idea of of where these storms are tracking.
You want to show it?
Michael's got it pulled up here.
Yeah. Nope, those are our reach outs. Current, we can go to the rotation tracks. And yeah, you can see that storm he's talking about out there has a very, very pronounced look there for rotation for sure. Let's see. See somebody saying help. It's right by their house. I can't help you as long as you're in shelter. I can.
Yeah. Go to a basement. Go to an interior room.
Yeah. So okay. Yep. So yeah, certainly the clear and evident rotation there, in that regard. And then we'll go down here. You can see it here on Clarity as well. I mean, it's not as defined, but it's still certainly showing a history here of rotation. For sure down there, getting into Vanderburgh County. So
new severe thunderstorm warning that's going to include Lafayette. So they haven't extended that tornado warning with that new update. But severe thunderstorm warning for 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts for Lafayette.
Yeah, there it is right there. Let's see what if we have any good indication of information here from MRMS.
There's still rotation on that. I'm looking at velocity that's passing the county line right now into Tippecanoe County there. I wouldn't be shocked if there's another tornado warning that's added onto that. The rotation is pretty decent on that storm in Lafayette.
Which one?
The one in Lafayette. That little, you can almost see the little hook there just northwest of Shadeland.
Let me go back here. You're going to have to, for some reason, you're having to give me permission in and out to share my screen. That's like something new. I don't know what's going on with that. Did I get in trouble? Did you
yes, I limited your screen sharing abilities because I don't know, felt like it.
Get out of hand sometimes. There's that interesting piece there near State Road 25, and that's getting into Tippecanoe County right there. So, yeah, it's certainly not done rotating by any means there. I may use the white to see it a little bit better. But yeah, you're right there. Let's see. Turn that off. Come on. Right in the Odell. Interesting signal there.
Yeah, a little something, maybe.
Little something. Tornado warning's been dropped. It's gone for now. This storm here, nonetheless, is just nasty up and down, for sure. Do not try to outrun a tornado. Yeah, that's true. You shouldn't do that. Southern end of this along I-70 corridor right now near Cloverdale. Let's see what we got here. Weird flashy colors in the velocity. Don't know why it's doing that. I don't know what this person this. Yeah.
I'm putting Chicken Nugget in timeout.
Okay, thank you.
Just
Right.
just so
Chicken
everybody
nugget.
is aware.
Go get yourself a chicken nugget somewhere and maybe get lost. It'd be great. It'd be fantastic. Boy, people are strange. I tell you. This storm here. Okay, Brett. This one here coming into Brazil. This is interesting. Right here.
Yeah, the southern edge of that
Mm-hmm.
near what is that, Staunton, if I pronounce that correctly, to
Mhm.
Brazil.
Yeah.
Because it's the southern part and because there aren't any storms south of it, it wouldn't be that hard to rotate.
Mm-mm. No, not at all. Okay. Well, right now, guys, we're just kind of monitoring. The storm down here in Evansville never went tornado warned. I have no idea why, but hey,
It's still up near Highland, has a decent little hook on it.
yeah. Let's see this storm here in Oakland City. Just the winds out of that one are 65, 70 miles an hour. What is this? Here is new severe thunderstorm warning for Petersburg. So yeah, I think right now we need to watch these kind of lift northeast too. So kind of three. I'll be curious to see what this one does. So far, it doesn't look like it's doing much, Brett.
No, I've been kind of watching that because I think that one is the one that kind of tracks towards us, where we're at in Johnson County, but it's not super impressive right now.
Yeah. Get our tornado warnings have been allowed to drop here for now, which is good. Good. We'll put that into motion. And
I'm gonna check around to see if we have any reports. Let's see. Hope's in a picture. Peoria tornado from earlier.
well, what do we want to do, Brett? Do we want to pause and let these things come east a little bit and see if they come back tornado warned a little bit, or how do we?
You know that as soon as we hop off,
I know.
That's how it goes.
Kind of why I said it, just to see if it's going to do it. You may as well do it now. You
know? A nasty little line though there, just that severe warning out near Greencastle, 70-mile-an-hour winds. We might get Splitsville here, Michael.
Good. Screw us,
I'm sure. I mean, that's good for the folks in Johnson County, but still worth keeping an eye on that cell at least.
I don't think again. I think we need to see. I think we need to see. Give it another hour or so for the low level jet. That hasn't happened just yet. The upper level has. The low level is about an hour out.
Yeah.
Remember,
well,
I wouldn't be shocked if they kind of grew right overhead.
Let's take a short break. And John? You're working on an nowcast right now. What's the ETA for Indy?
ETA for Indy is about 8:40 right now.
So
8:40.
Indy, just to give you a general idea before we hop off real quick, 8:35, 8:30 to 8:45, kind of that time frame in there, right where Michael's drawing that white line. So 8:30 to 8:45.
There you go. That's my professional drawing. I don't know if you can draw that well. That's how good I draw.
No. So yeah, biggest areas of concern right now too, I would say kind of along I-70 and north, along with that storm that's just east of Terre Haute. that storm near Lafayette, right where Michael is circling in there. And then the secondary area is the ones that are down by Evansville through there. So
with questions in here right now.
yeah, questions, and not saying we're not going to get anything in Monroe County and Johnson County and Brown County, but a little bit more of a question. There's a new severe thunderstorm warning there. That one may lift far enough north into
that's my low level jet friend, Brett. He's coming. He's coming. I'm telling you, I have a feeling he's coming. This one is for 1 inch hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind. I'm going to put it out on the record. I'm going to say this, Brett.
Oh boy.
I'm going to say that in here, as that jet fires up, 9 o'clock, I'm going to say locally enhanced wind threat right through here for sure. I'm confident, I think, in that, especially with these that can lift north into this environment, and this one continuing into there. A little bit of lightning back out there too. So let's give it a few minutes. Let's come back and we'll look for us to probably come back. Let's call it 7:45, Brett.
Okay.
If nothing, ramps up tornado wise. If tornado warnings come back out before then, we'll come back live prior to.
All right. Yep. Take a short break. I don't know. Fill out your brackets while you wait for us to come back live.
Or fill out the Clarity free trial form.
Well, do that too. That was a given.
Yeah. The Clarity free trial form, if I go over here, you can just go to bamwx.com. And again, listen, it doesn't have to be, Brett, I need permission. For the love of Pete. You don't have to be a business. You could be someone who knows someone that runs a business, runs a school, runs a team that needs information sent directly to their device. Go to bamwx.com, click start free trial, and just put your information in, get clarity. If the storm's headed your way, go check it out. We'll see you back here at 7:45.
See you soon.